Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Minister for Economic Development. What steps is he taking in the 2010-11 financial year to foster innovation, firm growth and export-led recovery?
The Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr. Speaker, many things, but in particular, last year I announced the establishment of the International Growth Fund. The fund is targeted at firms that NZTE have assessed as being most likely to contribute to New Zealand's long-term growth. In the 2010-11 financial year, funding will rise to $30 million from the $9 million provided in 2009-10, during which time we were in transition from previous types of grants. Mr. Speaker, science and innovation are at the heart of the government's economic agenda, and I have worked with my colleague, the Honourable Dr Mapp, on our budget package aimed at lifting firms' investment in R&D.
The Honourable Shane Jones.
To the Minister, why has the government stopped talking about reducing the earnings gap between Australians and New Zealanders, and this is evidence of the abandonment of the step change strategy?
The Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
No, Mr. Speaker, far from it. In fact, the successes of the government's program to increase our export base can be seen in the annual trade balance to the year ended April 2010, which was a surplus of some $161 million, or 0.5% of exports, compared with the average deficit of 10.8% of exports for the previous 10 April years. Mr. Speaker, I think the government's policies are working very well when it comes to raising our income through more exports.
The Honourable Shane Jones.
Sir, given that esteemed commentators from the Burl Group have said take out dairy, take out forestry, and take out dairy, forestry and fish, there are no export levers for growth.
The Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr. Speaker, I totally reject that. I don't know what the member has been reading, but for example, he may be interested to know that oil is now one of our biggest export earners, third biggest in 2008, fourth biggest in 2009, and likely to be an even larger contributor in years to come.
The Honourable Shane Jones.
To the Minister, is the $226 million reduction in his budget from 2008, 09, 2010 evidence of innovation, firm growth and an export-led recovery? If so, how?
The Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr. Speaker, I think the member's got his figures quite wrong. We've gone from 53 million down to 30 million, and I'll repeat for him again that the April figure for our export or merchandise trade balance showed a surplus the first time in 10 years. The member should be asking me why we didn't take more out.
Te uroro flavel.
Kia ora tātou te whare, talofa lava, malo le soifua. Mr. Speaker, to the Minister, what role has the Ministry of Economic Development had in the deal with a foreign oil and gas company, Petrobras, awarding them the sole right to explore and drill in the Raukumara Basin, and what responsibility does he have to ensure that there was consultation with the hapu from within Te Whanau Apanui and Ngāti Porou about how this proposal fosters their innovation and growth?
The Honourable Jerry Brownlee.
Mr. Speaker, firstly, the oil is a Crown Reserve mineral, and so the Crown does have every right to ensure that that resource is well explored and the benefits that come from it are accrued to all New Zealanders. Mr. Speaker, I'm reliably informed that consultation with the iwi started in September of 2008, that there was a period of some 40 days where there was an expectation that there might have been some response from iwi. None was forthcoming during that time. At a meeting earlier this year, there was an undertaking to let the iwi know when the block offer was being announced. There was a slip-up that I must take responsibility for, and I've apologised to Dr Mahuika and to Mr Gage for that slip-up. But, Mr Speaker, I'd point out that much of this block, the vast majority of this block, is in the exclusive economic zone, not in the foreshore and seabed.
Question number 6, David Clendon.